The View is off the air, finally.
People online are split about this.
Have you ever watched a morning talk show and thought, wow, they really just went there, didn't they? Well, buckle up, because the drama brewing on the talk has hit a whole new level, and it's got everyone from devoted fans to casual viewers glued to their screens. This time, Whoopi Goldberg, one of the show's most iconic figures, made a comment that has the internet absolutely spiraling into chaos. What did she say? Oh, you're about to find out, and trust us, it's a statement that's ruffled feathers in ways no one could have seen coming. So let's dive into what's got the audience furious and social media on fire.
I said something that I feel a responsibility for not leaving unexamined because my words upset so many people.
It all started during a fiery discussion about the state of America, a topic that always seems to spark passionate debates on The View. Now, Whoopi Goldberg is no stranger to controversial opinions. She's built her career on being outspoken and unapologetic, but this time, her words struck a nerve that even her most loyal fans weren't ready for. While addressing the complexities of race relations in the country, Whoopi allegedly made a sweeping generalization about white people in America, a statement that reportedly left the live audience in stunned silence before the backlash began pouring in from all corners. Viewers in the room were visibly taken aback, with some gasping and others exchanging awkward glances. It's been reported that even the co-hosts were caught off guard, with a few of them attempting to steer the conversation in a different direction. Elisa Griffin, known for her more measured and cautious approach, tried to jump in to balance the conversation, but by then the damage had already been done. Social media exploded almost instantly, with hashtags calling for Whoopi's resignation trending across multiple platforms. And if you thought the initial reaction was intense, wait until you hear what unfolded next.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
Within hours, clips of Whoopi's statement went viral, with people from all political spectrums chiming in to share their opinions. Some fans defended her as always speaking her truth, while others accused her of crossing a line and alienating a significant portion of the audience. Comments poured in, ranging from, "Whoopi is out here speaking facts," to, "How is she still employed after saying something like that?" The division was palpable, and it wasn't just social media users who were weighing in. Prominent figures from the entertainment world, political commentators, and even former guests of the show couldn't resist sharing their 2 cents. Interestingly, this isn't the first time Whoopi has found herself at the center of a storm. Over the years, she's made headlines for her unfiltered takes on everything from politics to pop culture. Remember the time she clashed with Meghan McCain on live television, leading to an unforgettable awkward silence? Or the moment she got into a heated debate about cancel culture, sparking days of online discussions? It seems like controversy has always followed her, but this latest incident feels different. Why? Because it's not just the audience that's upset. There are whispers that ABC executives might finally be reaching their breaking point.
Whoopi has to rest her ginormous mouth and bad attitude.
Adding to the intrigue, insiders at ABC have reportedly hinted that the network has been quietly brainstorming contingency plans in case Whoopi's controversies escalate further. One source claimed that emergency discussions have already taken place, exploring how to handle potential fallout if sponsors start to back away from the show. While this remains speculation, the mere idea that ABC is preparing for such a scenario speaks volumes about the gravity of the current situation. Could this be the beginning of a larger shakeup for the show's cast? Interestingly, some of Whoopi's defenders argue that her boldness is precisely why she remains a vital part of the show. They point out that in an era where many public figures are afraid to speak their minds, Whoopi doesn't hold back, even if it means ruffling feathers. But critics counter that there's a difference between being outspoken and being inflammatory, accusing her of using controversy as a shield to avoid accountability. This ongoing debate has only fueled the fire, with fans of the show just as divided as the co-hosts themselves.
Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you.
What's even more fascinating is how this controversy is impacting the dynamics among the other hosts. Elisa Griffin, for instance, has reportedly been walking a tightrope between defending her own views and maintaining a cordial relationship with Whoopi. Meanwhile, Joy Behar has stayed relatively quiet, which many find surprising given her history of jumping into heated discussions. Could their silence, or in some cases cautious responses, signal a deeper rift behind the scenes? If so, it raises the question of whether the show's internal dynamics are beginning to fray under the weight of these ongoing controversies. Rumors have been swirling that the network's leadership is deeply frustrated with the constant waves of backlash surrounding Whoopi. While her bold personality has undeniably contributed to the show's success, sources claim that the higher-ups are questioning whether the controversies are worth the trouble. Insiders are reportedly suggesting that discussions about her future on The View have intensified in recent weeks, with some even hinting at the possibility of breaking her contract. Could this be the end of an era for one of daytime TV's most recognizable faces?
Without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because because women were not invited to that tape.
Meanwhile, audience polls are painting a grim picture for Whoopi's standing among viewers. According to online surveys, a growing number of fans believe it might be time for her to step down, citing her divisive comments as a distraction from the show's original mission. And let's not forget the whispers about potential replacements. Names like Anna Navarro and even former co-hosts are being thrown around as possible candidates to fill the void if Whoopi were to exit. Could we be on the brink of seeing a completely revamped version of The View? The thought alone is enough to send shockwaves through the daytime television world. Of course, this controversy doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's part of a broader pattern that's been building over the years. Whoopi's critics argue that her unapologetic approach has crossed the line too many times, while her supporters see her as a fearless truth teller who refuses to sugarcoat her opinions. But here's the thing, in the world of television, perception is everything, and even the smallest misstep can have massive repercussions. So the question remains, how far is too far?
They really don't like this woman. She's a good communicator. And so Joy Behar just offered her analysis on why Levitt was picked for the role.
Adding fuel to the fire is the fact that this latest incident comes on the heels of another high-profile controversy involving Joy Behar. Just last week, Joy made headlines for comments about Caroline Levitt, the youngest ever White House press secretary, claiming she only got the job because of her looks. Whoopi even chimed in during that segment, arguing that Levitt's remarks on wokeness were offensive and demonstrated a lack of understanding of the term's historical significance. Critics slammed the panel for their hypocrisy, accusing them of failing to support women in leadership unless they align with their own political beliefs. It seems like the hosts of The View just can't catch a break these days. And speaking of Caroline Levitt, her name has been all over the news lately, not just for her groundbreaking appointment, but also for the sweeping reforms she announced in her first week as press secretary. From introducing new media seats in the briefing room to restoring press passes for hundreds of journalists, Levitt's actions have been both celebrated and criticized. Her approach has undoubtedly shaken up the status quo, and it's left traditional media figures, including the hosts of The View, grappling with how to respond. Could their recent comments about her be a reflection of their discomfort with the changing media landscape?
And Caroline Levitt isn't just making headlines, she's also rewriting history. At 27, the New Hampshire native has become the youngest White House press secretary ever.
As for Whoopi, she's remained uncharacteristically silent in the wake of the backlash, fueling speculation about what might happen next. Will she issue an apology or double down on her statement? And what about ABC? Will they stand by her as they've done in the past, or will this be the controversy that finally pushes them to act? The stakes couldn't be higher, and the uncertainty surrounding the situation has only added to the tension.
A staunch Trump loyalist and unapologetic Gen Z conservative, Levitt's sharp rhetoric and bold social media presence have already made waves.
Let's not overlook the fact that The View has always thrived on its ability to spark debate and tackle controversial topics head-on. It's what has kept the show relevant for over 2 decades. But there's a fine line between sparking meaningful conversations and alienating your audience. And many are wondering if the show has crossed that line. With ratings reportedly taking a hit and advertisers potentially reconsidering their partnerships, the pressure is mounting for the show to course correct before it's too late.
Life is so short.
So where does that leave us? At this point, it feels like everything is up in the air. Will Whoopi Goldberg weather this storm as she has so many times before, or is this a controversy that could finally bring her reign on The View to an end? And if she does step down, what will that mean for the show's future? Will it lose its edge? Or could fresh perspective breathe new life into the format? One thing's for sure, this is a story with no easy answers, and it's far from over. What do you think? Should Whoopi be held accountable for her latest remarks, or is the backlash being blown out of proportion? And if she were to leave The View, who do you think should take her place? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, stay tuned for more updates because this drama is only just beginning. Until next time,